Hey guys, it's Cozy here. Do you feel like videos these days are so far removed from an organic understanding of what you want to watch? Do you often get the idea that creators are talking to people that aren't even in their audience? Well, I have felt that way a lot recently. This occurs for many reasons. I feel the big one is audience capture, and more specifically, how creators succumb to the pressure of audience capture, especially in spaces where authentic opinion is valued. So today I'll be explaining audience capture, showing some examples of who I think are creators that may be struggling with audience capture, and lastly, how it affects the content that reaches us on YouTube. I will break these questions down into their own segments and really try to give a nuanced and well-versed take on the causes and effects of audience capture and what creators can do to solely focus on the content. So, the definition of audience capture is a marketplace dynamic where people compete based on the perceived preferences of others. An example would be a creator who makes a certain type of content that aligns with one thought process, because his audience has influenced them heavily to do so by affirming the ideas in the content or by negatively reviewing opposing ideas that may have been authentic to the creator. It happens a lot more in political spaces where bias is a lot more prevalent. The audience for these creators form a mob mentality where they keep the entire community in check with certain ideals. A weak minded creator sees this and lets their content be molded into a confirmation bias machine, only pumping out content the mob wants, or in better words, allows. On one hand, you do want to produce content that will be rewarded. I mean, that's the name of the game. But on the other hand, it could become so bad where the creator doesn't display any real ideas or values, and is just a vessel to push the community status quo. So, some examples of audience capture being very powerful and controlling to a creator would have to be in the world of streaming. And there's a few reasons why. The biggest reason, in my opinion, is the live chat and the donations. Inherently, the streamer is supposed to be constantly in check with the chat because they are trying to find what works and what the audience wants to receive with the stream. This in a vacuum isn't all that bad, and it's what a lot of major media do in entertainment today. The difference is that these forms of media are purely for comfort and pacification, not to provide well thought opinions or thought provoking content that has the possibility of mass influence. When a political streamer, or really any streamer that's talking about important topics, gets lost in audience capture, it can just create an irresponsible misinformation campaign where they don't follow ideas with any scrutiny and push whatever ideology is handed to them. You can see these with streamers like Hassan and Sneeko. Now, another example of audience capture is with YouTubers who get incentivized to produce one single type of content, no matter how unhealthy, risky, or artistically deflated the content is. You see people like Nikocado Avocado, whose whole life has fallen into degeneracy for the sake of appeasing fans. This can be bad because the mobs that are a lot of creators' audience don't tend to care about the well being of the creator or even the quality and substance of the art or content they are making. That's where it's up to the creator to stand strong in their convictions and put out content they are proud of and feel have a place in our media landscape. How audience capture takes hold in the weaker minds of content creators on this platform and platforms like this one is that it usually starts with one very successful video from the creator. After such a success, the creator is prone to folding on all beliefs and convictions and just trying to appease the people who are responsible for that success. The content that follows this is usually very one sided, trying to exert influence on the audience while also confirming the beliefs and status quo set forward by that audience. This is where you find these hyper radical chambers of thought policing and confirmation, where everyone checks the community, not allowing any dissenting opinion, claiming it to be problematic or harmful in left communities, or calling it anti freedom in more right leaning communities. A lot of times, once the capture starts to take hold initially, the creator may not even notice that they are being swayed until they try to make an authentic video with their real beliefs and opinions. Then the mob they have cultivated makes itself known completely, denouncing the content and the ideas portrayed in the content using buzzwords and deceptive language. This puts the creator in a tricky spot creatively and financially, and really pushes the creator to make a choice. A. Either roll the dice, face the backlash, and hopefully some of the community stays with you and supports your authentic self and the content you truly want to make. Or B. You become a shield to whatever ideals or group the audience is asking you to support, essentially giving up all creative freedom in the name of having a good career financially and making a lot of money. Now, as a poor person, I don't entirely blame the creators that choose Path B, but at the same time, it's hard not to feel like most of the creators in this predicament are choosing Path B. And that's a scary sight for the landscape of civil discourse online. Now, the main way it affects creators is it gives them intense insecurity about expressing themselves, and of course holds them back creatively from the content they want to produce. It takes away all autonomy from the creators, not by force, but it can incentivize creators to derail their career by trying to appeal to some vague agenda set forth on them. It can also be beneficial monetarily, but do we need more creators that are just regurgitating the same crap that everyone already knows? No, we don't. We want creative, fresh, and new content that is actually thought provoking and activates people's minds and dares them to innovate and think of something new and exciting to look at an idea or issue with a new perspective. When we lack this, we get a space like the one we have now, in both the right and left. It's just a hierarchy of voices all spouting the same opinions and belief, while simultaneously calling the other side stupid and unreasonable. Aren't you sick of this? Well, if you are, the truth is you're the reason this happens. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a video about audience capture. The real takeaway is to allow creators to make what they want. And of course, you should disagree if you don't agree. But that doesn't mean to condemn the act of having an opposing opinion. Just allow an open minded and experimental platform to be created, where we can all create the stuff that we want to create. Okay, in conclusion, just allow creators to do what they love, which is to give them space to make mistakes or believe something different than you. It's not problematic and it's not harmful for others to think of new ideas that might counter yours. That's how all innovation happens, so don't stand in the way of innovation. Once again, thank you for watching and subscribing. Tell me why I'm wrong, right, or stupid in the comments. Let's create an ecosystem of ideas in there. All right, thank you all.